Hello, guys. Everybody, welcome back to my channel. I want to give, yeah. Let's do my St. Patrick's Day video. I said post this early. Why not? Let me share screen. Share screen. All right, ladies. We cannot take a burn tonight or tap your walks. I need a good, clean break-in. Thank eyeball. Time roll set. Deck tie round. Roots all set. Maneuver like your crack fight. Sponsor you button. Go up, baby.
They all knew Jurassic World, charge and jump Arnold with a jaw-chopping strike and powerful sprinting action. This dino is fast, fierce, and ferocious. Jurassic World, charge and jump Carnotaurus and other dinos sold separately. You can discover more fun on the Jurassic World Play app.
History of St. Patrick's Day. Top of the morning to you. Today, we are learning
I gotta
all
post it
about
for my
the
channel
history
already.
of St.
St. Patrick's Day.
So grab something green to wear and
that one.
The history of St. Patrick's Day dates all the way back to the 5th century. A man named Patrick was kidnapped from his birthplace in Roman-occupied Britain at the age of 16 and taken to Ireland as a slave. He spent about 6 years there before escaping. Some years later, Patrick returned to Ireland as a missionary. He played a crucial role in converting the Irish people to Christianity. Today, Patrick is considered to be the patron saint of Ireland. Here is an interesting fact. Patrick's death is thought to have taken place on March 17th, which is why St. Patrick's Day is celebrated on this date. Initially, St. Patrick's Day was a solemn religious occasion with time set aside for church services and contemplation.
Today,
it is a major public festival celebrated globally. Cities like Dublin, New York, Chicago, and Boston celebrate with parades and other Irish-themed activities. Traditional Irish dishes like corned beef and cabbage, soda bread, and Irish stew are often served during these celebrations. Have you ever wondered why it is tradition to wear green on St. Patrick's Day? This wearing of the green ties back to Ireland's nickname, the Emerald Isle, and the green on its flag. Legend has it that if you wear green on St. Patrick's Day, you are invisible to leprechauns, who are known to pinch anyone that they can see. Here is an interesting fact. Every year, the city of Chicago kicks off its St. Patrick's Day celebration by dyeing the Chicago River green. This tradition goes back to 1962 and attracts thousands of spectators today. Recognize this iconic St. Patrick's Day symbol? The shamrock has its ties all the way back to Patrick himself.
I gotta post it on my channel early.
He used it to explain the Christian concept of God. Even though there are 3 leaves, they are still a part of one plant. Something that might surprise you about this holiday is that it is celebrated more widely outside of Ireland than in the country itself. American cities that have large Irish American populations, like New York and Boston, tend to go all out for St. Patrick's Day. But regardless, this holiday has become a fun way to celebrate history, culture, and Irish pride. Over time, the meaning of St. Patrick's Day has evolved. It started as a religious holiday and has become a global celebration, honoring Irish culture. What is the most interesting thing you learned about St. Patrick's Day? Looking to review what you have just learned? head over to our shorts for a quiz to test your St. Patrick's Day knowledge.
Hope you had fun learning with us. Visit us at learnbright.org for thousands of free resources and turnkey solutions for teachers and homes.
Let's see here. 25 or less. We got the Thrill Joy one. We have the anime mystery girl box. We do have the soda, double soda mystery girl box.
March 17th is St. Patrick's Day. It's a day to honor St. Patrick, Ireland's patron saint, or the spiritual protector for the nation, who died on March 17th in the year 461. St. Patrick was a priest who converted many people in Ireland to Catholicism. Did you know that St. Patrick wasn't actually Irish? That's right. He was born one island away on Britain in 385. But St. Patrick is so important to Ireland's history that his day became Ireland's national holiday in 1903. So St. Patrick's Day became not just a day for the saint, but a celebration of Irish culture. As Irish people moved to other countries, they introduced their rich traditions through St. Patrick's Day festivals. Now, people in cities worldwide dress in green and wear shamrocks on St. Patrick's Day to show their Irish pride. New York City hosts the biggest St. Patrick's Day parade in the world. More than 3 million people come to watch Irish step dancing, listen to traditional and modern Irish bands, and share lots of Irish food. It's no wonder that people all over the world and out of this world celebrate St. Patrick's Day, whether or not they are Irish at all. What part of St. Patrick's Day seems like the most fun?
For lesson plans, digital resources, and more teacher support materials, visit pbskidslearningmedia.org.
Oh my God, I love the April, you're ready to your most. Kim Sassy. Okay.
Post on my channel a little bit early.
Okay, once again, 17 total members. Age code 17 total. Done. Okay, we're going to 7. All right, let's shuffle them up here. This as well.
Let me see.
Not be here if it weren't seriously utterly important.
Try your heat cake and real pasta.
Hey, the milk's talking. Your car.
The stores and get closer to your next trip. Every purchase has a checkout with a JetBlue Plus card.
Watch that scene.
Well, friends, I didn't see my daughter. You've taken the worst moment of my life and made it into who I am.
And he said it done exactly the same.
Of course. I'm gonna be a part of my life. I'll never give up.
When a shopping cart smashed my headlight, we worried we'd have to fight to get paid for such a
You all ready?
Life would revolve around the shopping cart.
We got everything.
Just 17.
Every year, some countries move their clocks forward in the spring, only to move them back in the autumn. To the vast majority of the world who doesn't participate in this odd clock fiddling, it seems a baffling thing to do. So what's the reason behind it? The original idea, proposed by George Hudson, was to give people more sunlight in the summer. Of course, it's important to note that changing a clock doesn't actually make more sunlight. That's not how physics works. But by moving the clocks forward an hour, compared to all other human activity, the sun will seem to both rise and set later. The time when the clocks are moved forward is called daylight saving time, and the rest of the year is called standard time. This switch effectively gives people more time to enjoy the sunshine and nice summer weather after work. Hudson, in particular, wanted more sunlight so he could spend more time adding to his insect collection. When winter is coming, the clocks move back, presumably because people don't want to go outside anymore. But winter doesn't have this effect on everyone. If you live in a tropical place like Hawaii, you really don't have to worry about seasons because they pretty much don't happen. Every day all year is sunny and beautiful, so Christmas is just as good of a day to hit the beach as any other. And so, Hawaii is one of 2 states in the Union that ignore daylight saving time. But the further you travel from the equator in either direction, the more the seasons assert themselves and you get colder and darker winters, making summertime much more valuable to the locals. So it's no surprise that the further a country is from the equator, the more likely it uses daylight saving time. Hudson proposed this idea in Wellington in 1895, but it wasn't well received, and it took until 1916 for Germany to be the first country to put it into practice. Though the uber-industrious Germans were less concerned with catching butterflies on a fine summer evening than they were with saving coal to feed the war machines. The Germans thought daylight saving time would conserve energy. The reasoning goes that it encourages people to stay out later in the summer and thus use less artificial lighting. This sounds logical, and it may have worked in the more regimented society of 100 years ago, but does it still work in the modern world? That turns out to be a surprisingly difficult question to answer. For example, take mankind's greatest invention, air conditioning, the magic box of cool that makes otherwise uninhabitable sections of the world quite tolerable places to live. But pumping heat out of your house isn't cheap, and turning on one air conditioner is the same as running dozens of tungsten light bulbs. If people get more sunshine, but they don't use it to go outside, then daylight saving time might actually cost electricity, not save it. This is particularly true in a place like Phoenix, where the average summer high is 107 degrees and the record is 122. If you suggest to an Arizonan to change their clocks in the summer to get more sunshine, they laugh in your face. Sun and higher electricity bills are not what they want, which is why Arizona is the second state that never changes their clocks. Another problem with trying to study daylight saving time is rapid changes in technology and electrical use. As technology gets better and better and better, more electricity is dedicated to things that aren't light bulbs, and the lure of a hot, sweaty, mosquito-filled day outside is less appealing than technological entertainment and climate-controlled comfort inside. Also, the horrifically energy-inefficient tungsten light bulbs that have remained unchanged for a century are giving way to CFLs and LEDs, greatly reducing the amount of energy required to light a room. So even assuming that daylight saving time is effective, it's probably less effective with every passing year. The bottom line is while some studies say daylight saving time costs...
Hello. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more retro content. Thank you, bye.